Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today I am the luckiest guy in the world because I am here with Wonderhussy.
Hi, Bob. Hi, everyone.
And that is actually the name of your channel,
That's the
Wonderhussy.
name of my channel, Wonderhussy Adventures.
And she is very polite and demure. So we'll get a lot, it'll be a little bit boring, but we'll make it as interesting as we can.
Don't make me late for church, Bob.
Okay, yes. I mean, anybody with the name Wonderhussy must spend a lot of time in church.
Well, I tell everyone that my mother was Wonder Woman and my father was a shameless hussy. They met and had me, and well, here I am.
And you kind of are Wonder Woman in the flesh.
Well, thank you. That's a huge compliment. I just look at myself as an average American gal trying to get by and have the most fun I can in this life.
Shall we call you Wonderhussy?
Sure. I mean, my name is Sarah Jane. For those of you wondering, I do have a name, but I go by Wonderhussy. Story behind the name, I worked as a nude model for many years, an artistic nude model. Okay, and yes, art is subjective, but people were always making the worst assumptions about me anyways, and so I thought, well, if everyone's gonna assume I'm a hussy, I'll own it rather than deny it. I'll be the best darn hussy there is. Wonderhussy.
Thank you. And you have a channel, a
I have a
YouTube
YouTube channel. Yes, I stumbled into YouTubing actually via modeling. So as an artistic nude model, I was always scouting the desert around Las Vegas, where I'm based out of, looking for cool new landscapes and abandoned buildings and places to pose for photographers. So photographers would hire me, and for whatever reason, photographers want to photograph a nude model against a crumbling, decaying old building. Spent a lot of time roaming around the desert looking for interesting abandoned places. And well, by golly, after a couple of years, I came to enjoy the exploring more than I did the actual modeling. And I sort of gradually transitioned out over a period of a couple of years. And now, well, I'm pleased to say I've retired from modeling and I'm full time YouTubing.
And so there are going to be people out there who are upset that Wonderhussy is on the channel, and I'll explain why she fits in. I think she fits in perfectly to my channel. But I love open, honest, transparent people.
That's
And
me. Radical transparency. I have no secrets in my life. I should note, though, that my YouTube channel is more or less PG rated. I mean, I talk about some adult stuff occasionally, like if I'm at a historical site, but it's, for the most part, it's safe to watch with kids.
those of you who are writing I can hear you typing right now, telling me how she shouldn't be on here. To you, she should be, and I'm glad she is. I'm
Thank you,
delighted.
Bob. Bob, you're open minded, and that's what I've always liked about you.
Yeah. So why do I think that Wonderhussy fits into the channel? Because this is her home for half the year, maybe.
I'd say I probably sleep in my rig at least half of the nights of the year. I do own a house in Las Vegas, which Vegas, I mean, the taxes are super low. It's just a really easy place to be based. My house is paid off. I have no overhead. And I have a roommate that lives with me, and his rent covers the utilities and the taxes and whatnot. So, you know, I feel like I'd be silly to get rid of that house. I use this for adventuring, and I can and have lived for a month, 2 months at a time out of my rig pretty comfortably. I'm not quite hardcore enough to really go full time. I do always have that hot shower and that strong Wi-Fi signal in the back of my mind calling me home.
My channel is about people living their best life, and you're living your best life.
I'm trying, man. I mean, I've always tried, and yeah, I've stumbled along the way, making my way through life, trying to figure out what I want to be, what do I want to do, and people have certain expectations of women. Well, I just want to do what makes me feel good, what makes me happy, as long as I'm not hurting anyone else. I try to make other people happy in the process of making myself happy, and I feel like I've been able to strike that balance.
So we can all learn a lot because she does spend so much time living out of her Toyota that I think we can learn how she does it and how she finds this amazing balance. So why don't you go ahead and show us around your rig?
Okay, well, it's pretty straightforward. It's a Toyota 4Runner, 2017. I got this vehicle particularly because I like going places that are really hard to get. And yes, I've thought about buying a van. I'm still thinking about it. But what keeps me back from that is I like the maneuverability and the short wheelbase of this little Toyota 4Runner. It's a very capable car. I can't say enough good things about the Toyota 4Runner. That being said, it's small, but it's big enough for me to live in comfortably for, gosh, months at a time. I know I watched a video that you did, an interview with a woman who lived in an SUV. I think her name was Roxy.
Yes.
And she had been living in that for years.
Years.
Yeah, I picked up a lot of useful tips from that video. She took a lot of inspiration from that, but I went with the 4Runner just because of its reputation. I'm no mechanic, so I want something that's reliable, something that's capable, and well, it sure is. Okay, now I take my sleep very seriously. I'm an insomniac. I have a hard time sleeping. So I'm not trying to just blow up an air mattress or lay out rustic style. No, I want an actual bed. So I got actual foam in here, like 2 big slabs of foam, upholstery foam. So it's very comfy. And of course I've got all my blankets to stay warm because it does get cold out here in the desert. This blanket here on top is me. The photographer made that for me.
Oh, the design. I see.
That's me, Bob.
Yeah.
And it's safe for anyone to look at because I'm holding a conveniently placed fan. I haven't taken any seats out or done any permanent modifications. I can just fold this back up and it's a regular 4Runner. So I keep that seat folded up and then I just store my stuff over here. Now, since I spend a lot of time in the desert, I always roll around with 5 gallons of water. Very important to have drinking water. And then everything else is just modular, like bins. This is all my stuff for my face to keep me looking young, all my creams and potions and lotions. This is telling. This is my kitchen. My kitchen is the same size as my face box. Now, what does that tell you about me, Bob?
It says something. I'll leave it to the audience's imagination.
Well, you know, that's just the way this society is, unfortunately.
It is.
Women are judged a certain way. Then behind my kitchen, I just have some of my recovery gear, air compressors, and oh gosh, I've got a bag back there that's got a tow strap and all my tire tools. But take my word for it, I've got every kind of recovery gear you could possibly want because I do spend a lot of time in some pretty sketchy parts of the backcountry alone. I mean, obviously, I travel with a friend if I can, just because it's safer. But sometimes, you know, there's just not a lot of people who have the freedom that I do and can take off midweek to go, hey, I want to go find this old cabin on top of this mountain. You want to come? Well, a lot of times no one wants to come, so I have to go alone, which is why I try to bring all my own recovery gear. To that end, there's also these Max Tracks here on the outside that I roll with.
We should tell people that don't know recovery gear means getting unstuck.
Getting unstuck. If you get stuck in sand or, well, I got high centered once on a rock, even with my clearance. That was kind of hairy. But yeah, I travel with, even though this is big and bulky and cumbersome, if it helps me get out of sand and I'm stuck, it's worth carrying around. Right. And same, I have another toolbox over here and my little camp chair. As far as, you always ask everyone, how do they make a living and how they go to the bathroom? Well, obviously I'm not living in here full time, so I don't have a toilet. I've got a shovel. Good old fashioned shovel is all you need if you're out in the middle of nowhere. You know, if I have to pee, I'll just go pop a squat anywhere, no big deal. But what if I'm in a truck stop parking lot or someplace where I can't get out and I have to pee in the middle of the night? Well, then I've got my good old laundry detergent bottle, which is very inconspicuous when you're taking it in to empty it out.
And so anyone could do this. There's nothing
anyone
special
could do this. I didn't build anything out in this. And, you know, when I first got the 4Runner, I did watch all those videos where people build shelving and storage and all this like raised bed platform. And I decided none of that was for me because A, all that wood is heavy. B, I don't know. I prefer being able to sit up straight in bed rather than having a higher bed platform. So I just chose not to have storage underneath. But also I just like the fact that I can fold this seat back up and it's a regular SUV again, you know, in like less than 5 minutes. Okay, Bob, you want to see my boudoir?
Yes, I do.
Well, it's not that exciting. It's just the seat that doesn't fold down. I keep all my hats, which I do have a lot of hats on the headrest. I happen to have extra costumes with me today. I have a lot of costumes because I'm shooting a calendar, a 2021 calendar for my YouTube channel. So I brought a bunch of, this whole bag here is just costumes that I'm going to be wearing for that. So I wouldn't normally be rolling around with that. All I carry for my wardrobe is this pink duffel bag, and it's just got all my clothes stuffed in it. And then my wardrobe is also where I keep my food. Doesn't everybody keep their food in their wardrobe?
When they live in a Toyota, they do.
Yeah, well, I just got a few bags here with I'm pretty lazy with food. I don't have a refrigerator or anything like that. I do try to eat healthy, so I end up eating a lot of boil in the bag Indian food. Lentils, rice, veggies. But you know, as we're traveling, You can see the sexiness of this beast.
It is.
You can see that I take really good cosmetic care of it.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as it's all good under the hood, I don't care about dents, dings, or bug guts. Just makes me look like I've earned it, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So here's where I just kind of stuff random things that I might need, like this campfire in a can. Somebody just sent me this. Kind of cool. Oh, and then I've got my power. Gotta have my power source. As a YouTuber, always gotta keep my devices charged. So I just have a little jackery with the, if I'm parked someplace for a few days, I can use the solar panel with it. This is little folding solar panel that comes with it. My own vlogging gear. If I was to interview you, I would use my microphone, all that stuff. I mean, I'm slowly making my way towards taking the full-time plunge. I don't know, man. I guess I just don't really have the cojones for it yet. And I have a lot of respect for everybody watching this who does. Because I've watched a billion of your videos, your interviews. And, you know, I'm especially impressed with the women. You know, sometimes it's older women that, you know, everyone just expects them to sit in a rocking chair and crochet doilies for the rest of their lives. But they decide to get out and do it. And that I find that really heartening. So by doing what I'm doing, part-timing, I guess I'm just putting my toe in the water, so to speak, getting a taste for it. And, well, to be honest, the more I do it, the more I realize I probably should just go full-time because, you know, I'll go on one of my trips for 6 weeks or 2 months or whatever, like come home and gosh, now I'm back at my house. There's a bunch of weeds in the front yard I gotta pull. The water heater's busted. I gotta fix that. There's light bulbs that need changed. Like, why am I doing all this? I'm hardly ever here, you know? Let's say the needle is right here in the middle. Well, they're starting to move me towards full-time nomad life.
And that raises another question. You are just naturally not a fearful person? Are you just born fearless?
Well, no, I was really shy actually for the first, oh gosh, I was a late bloomer. I was really shy until I was about 23, 24. But then I moved. I decided I wanted to move to Las Vegas, which sounds really weird. Like, God, what a horrible place for a sheltered young girl to move. But, you know, say what you will about Vegas, it really did help me become more open and outgoing. And I realized that, gee, maybe the media is just trying to make things seem more scary than they really are. Maybe by keeping people in a state of fear, they're able to sell you more stuff. How about that? I realized that really the world isn't as scary a place as it's made out to be. And the more traveling I do by myself out into the middle of nowhere, the more that really bears out. You know, I don't ever really feel like I'm in danger, but I feel more in danger back in the city at my house than I ever do parked out in the middle of a cow pasture in central Nevada. It's just a vast, open desolation. And if you're not afraid of being in desolation, if you're not afraid of being alone with yourself, well, then you have nothing to be afraid of.
Well, Wonderhussy, thank you so much for sharing your life and your experience with us. I think it's been really amazing. Folks, I know you've enjoyed this, so thank you.
Thanks everybody who's watching. Thank you, Bob, for having me. And thank you, Bob, for your service that you've done for so many people in this world, myself included.
Well, thank you. You're all very welcome. So, folks, if you got anything out of this video, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later.